All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about one of the most transformative technologies of our lifetime, artificial intelligence. But for a second, let's forget about the code, the data, all the technical stuff. Instead, let's look at AI for what it really is, a story. It's a really old, really human story about our dream to understand and maybe, just maybe, one day create a mind. And to really set the stage, check out this quote from Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein. It just captures the whole spirit of AI perfectly. This field didn't just pop up in a lab somewhere. Nope. It was pieced together from centuries of ideas about logic, about life, and about the very nature of what it means to think. So that leads us to the big question, right? And it's a surprisingly tricky one. We hear the term AI thrown around constantly. It's in our phones, it's in our cars, but what does it actually mean? Okay, let's get into this. We're starting with the mystery of what AI even is. I mean, how can something that's everywhere be so hard to define? Well, it turns out that even the people who are building it don't totally agree.
The best way to get your head around this problem is with an old story about the blind man and an elephant. So, one expert touches the elephant's trunk and says, "Aha, AI is all about understanding language." Another one feels a massive leg and says, "No, no, you're wrong. It's about building strong logical systems." And here's the thing, they're all kind of right, but they're each only describing one little piece of a much, much bigger animal. So, for us to get on the same page today, we need some kind of baseline. Let's use this definition from our source material. AI is the branch of computer science that's all about automating intelligent behavior. Yeah, it's pretty broad, I know, but it's a solid starting point for us as we dig into where all these ideas came from in the first place. And this is where things get really interesting. Because this whole quest, this whole idea, it didn't start with computers. It started thousands of years ago in myths and philosophy, with ancient thinkers just trying to wrap their minds around the mystery of the human mind itself. Just think about the Greek myth of Prometheus. We all know he gave humanity fire, but the story also says he gave us something else, intelligence and reason. It's amazing, right? This ancient story captures the very same ambition that drives AI researchers today. This desire to build something that has the same powers that make us, well, us. So, how in the world did we get from a myth to an actual machine? Well, it took this huge shift in how we think about things. It was the idea that logic wasn't some kind of magic. It was a process, something you could actually break down into steps, kind of like a machine. And you can really see this journey unfold over time on this timeline. It starts way, way back with Aristotle, around 350 BC. He's the one who formalized logic, basically creating the very first tool for reasoning. Then, boom, we jump forward almost 2,000 years to 1642. Blaise Pascal builds a mechanical calculator and proves for the first time that a piece of our thinking, math, could actually be automated. A few decades later, Leibniz takes it even further. He dreams of a machine that could reason not just with numbers, but with abstract ideas. And running through all of this is René Descartes, whose whole mind-body problem kicked off this massive debate about whether thought is purely physical or something more, a debate that's still alive and well in AI today. Okay, so let's fast forward to today and see how all this history comes together. All those different threads we just talked about, logic, machines, philosophy, they finally weave together to create this huge, complex, and fascinating field we call AI. And today's AI isn't just one thing. It's more like a mosaic of all these different fields. You've got machine learning, which is how systems learn from data without you having to code every single rule. Then there are neural networks, which are inspired by our own brains and are the real powerhouses behind deep learning. Natural language processing, or NLP, that's the magic that lets Siri or Alexa understand what you're saying. Computer vision lets machines see and make sense of the world. Think face unlock on your phone. And behind all of that, you have these foundational fields like knowledge representation and automated reasoning, which are all about how to store information and make logical guesses based on it. And this image, wow, it just perfectly nails the whole idea we've been talking about. You see this complex, modern brain representing the AI of today, right? But as we've just seen, its roots go so deep, stretching back through centuries of human history and curiosity. It's a modern science for sure, but with incredibly ancient roots. So, we've gone on this incredible journey from ancient myths all the way to cutting-edge computer science. What's the big takeaway here? What's the point of all this? It's this, and this is really important.
The search for artificial intelligence is so much more than just an engineering project. It's not just about building smarter gadgets. At its heart, it's an epic, ongoing quest to figure out what intelligence is in the first place. By trying to build a mind, we're forcing ourselves to figure out what a mind actually is.
And that leaves us with one last huge question to think about. If we ever actually succeed in this grand mission, if we create a machine that can truly think and understand, what will that creation, in the end, teach us about ourselves?